This episode contains explicit language, so not for younger listeners or those without a sense of humour. So remember to grab your headphones for the paranormal investigation episodes. And you also get to listen to this voice super close to your ear. So buckle up, grab a drink, relax, enjoy. Welcome back to Aussie Afterlife. This is episode 50-something. But anyway, this is our Halloween special, or my Halloween special anyway. But I've got some really cool stories in store for you. I thought I'd go back and do like a bit of like a listener episode, and just retell some stories and, Oh!
Trick or treat!
All right, Halloween. Sick. Just hold on 1 second. Oh, hello. Hello. Lithium, who the fuck? What the hell's going on? No! What the hell are you doing? No! What the hell are you fucking? No! Lithium! No! Don't put me in the cupboard! What the?
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to this evening's Halloween special of Aussie Afterlife. Allow me to introduce myself. My name is Lithium, and my job this evening is to entertain you with the thrills and stories of my own personal experiences down at Aradale Lunatic Asylum. And my co-host here tonight is Little Emu. Oh shit, let me get that.
The fuck, Lithium? What the fuck is this? Oh, jeez. What the hell are we doing here, Lithium?
You are going to be interviewing me for my very first wireless episode. Isn't this exciting?
Uh-huh. Why am I tied to a chair?
Yes, well, the thing is, you are tied to a chair because you would run off and tell Samio, and you would put a stop to all of this, and then I'd have to go back out the window the way I came back in. And it's a pretty high climb. It makes perfect sense, but still.
What possesses you to think that I'm actually going to follow through with this?
I'll tell people that you cry every time you hear Scotland the Brave done by bagpipes.
Oh, that's a low blow, Lithium. Really?
Yes, well, Little Emu, you've got to understand. I'm doing the Halloween episode, whether Sammy likes it or not. I'm hijacking her Aussie Afterlife.
Uh-huh. Why do you need me?
Yes, well, read the paper. Read the paper.
Can't read from the paper. What the hell is this, Lithium? You were created like 5 years ago by the creator that, she couldn't ask anymore for her now recently diagnosed ADHD.
Read it. If you roll your eyes any harder, the audience, our fans are my fans are going to be hearing that, okay? No more eye rolling.
Fine.
Oh, thank God. Fucking Lithium at it again. She's a fucking hostage. Is that Emu? What the hell is going fucking on? Oi! Lithium. I know what you're up to, okay? Whatever. Take over the episode. I really don't give a shit, okay? It saves me a lot less work. Have fun with whatever. And Amy, what the fuck are you doing? Anyway, I don't know what you two are up to. It's weird, but continue on. But you tell the truth, all right? And just say, hey, don't, what the fuck? Lithium, please, stop. Lithium, if you're going to take over the episode, please just at least start with how you came about to the asylum, okay? I know you call yourself Lithium, but, like, just tell the truth, right?
Right, I ended up in a lunatic asylum when I was quite young. Don't know why, but yes, and then I got experimented on. Then I went from Scotland into Australia, bombed around, with the world's biggest migration for the nice, lovely stuff, gold, in and out of asylums, and then eventually got to a point where I had no idea what my name was. I ended up at, Larundel. Yes, and that's where they used lithium on me. And that's how I ended up with the name Lithium.
Sure. And how did that make you feel, Lithium?
Been at Aradale a few times, but my most longest stint at the moment, it's interesting as a tour guide and not a patient. I've been there for over 4.5 years now, and I've had quite a few interesting experiences.
Yes, and I'm sure you have some really interesting experiences. And would you like to share them today on Aussie Afterlife?
Oh, yes, I would love to share some of my experiences with you, but I'm going to need you to say it. Like Samia.
Fine, fine, fine.
Excuse me. Stop it. Anyway, grab a drink, relax, and enjoy. This is story number 1 of Lithium's. Lithium, come on, stop it. I'm going to pay you back this big time.
Oh, yes, so story number 1. I was a very fresh-faced tour guide there. I'd only been there a few weeks, and it was a Friday evening, starting to get chilly towards the end of April. And I was locking up the women's ward for the very first time on my own. Yes, a lunatic running around with a set of keys. And I've gotten up to the first part of the women's ward. I've locked the door and I've started walking away or skipping away because I skip a lot. Yes, I should keep with the story. And next thing I hear is the door rattling, just forcefully, as if someone was testing to see if I'd locked it properly or was trying to get through, either one. And so, of course, I was like, okay, kept walking. And then I start hearing heeled footsteps behind me. And I quicken my pace. I get to the next door. I close it. I lock it. I start to walk away. And it rattles again. And that happens all throughout, following with the footsteps behind me. And yes, with those heeled footsteps right behind me, getting closer and closer after each door. And then, when it comes to the last door, and it's a big door, and it has a big pane of glass, and, they always rattle. I remember pulling that door close, ducking down so I didn't see anything through the window. And then I put the key in, and it was fighting back and forth between with the door. Until I finally got it closed and locked. And yes, I ran down those back stairs saying a lot of profanities.
Now, have you worked out what that could have been?
Well, yes, of course. It had to have been one of the nurses trying to keep track of me. And Amy, stop moving in your chair. I can hear it creaking.
You're not the one tied to a chair.
Little Amy. Little Amy.
What?
I'm waiting. Say it, say it, say it, say it.
Fine. Now, on to story number 2.
Yes. Yes, story number 2. I call this the Gaunt Face Man.
Lithium, why the hell do you call it that?
Well, let me get into the story, Emu. Come on. Are you going to be painful like this whole time? Because I will put that tape back on your mouth. No.
Please don't put the tape back on my mouth.
Okay, story number 2, the Gaunt Man. Yes, well, he's appeared quite a few times, and the best way to describe him, he likes to be up on 2nd, 3rd floors, and even sometimes in the clock tower. He's a very greyish, bald man, and his face comes down into a gaunt point. That did not make sense. Yeah, it thins out, and it points down near the chin. There's a crooked bent nose. Kind of really looks like a very malnutritious Dr. Walter Freeman. And he's wearing what looks to be a patient gown. And he just sinisterly stares down. And then, of course, on one of my tours, I had a psychic medium turn around and go, "Oh, yes, I saw this man." And it described him exactly the way how I just described him to you, all my lovely fans. And yes, apparently he likes to watch me. Yes, ew, gross. But he liked to watch me. He wasn't going to interact because he knew I was a lot older than what I looked. So sometimes it is a blessing being over 300 years old. And then I think the last experience I ever had with him, I had been introducing my guests, and I had let in a bunch of, what do they call them, Emu?
I don't know. What are you on about?
Oh, Emu, they're teenagers. Yes, well, nevertheless, these teenagers had gone into the museum, and then I hear a multitude of screams. And it's a little bit confronting when you hear people scream and you're not making them scream. And so, of course, they've run out of the front of the administration building, almost ran over me. And I was like, "What's wrong?" And they described this man that appeared in one of our old wheelchairs in the museum, grinned at them, and just disappeared in front of them. And they described the gaunt-looking man. After that, I haven't had anything to do with him, haven't seen him, no one said anything. But I do fret a little bit because wee little Alice may be being watched.
Oh, yeah, I remember him. Yeah, he was gross, Lithium. Yeah, I can agree with you on that one. Hey, Lithium.
Yes, what evening?
Where's Samio?
Oh, yeah. She's just a little bit preoccupied.
Lithium, you have not tied her up, have you?
Oh, God, no. No. Have you ever tried catching a psych nurse? No, she's just preoccupied. I may or may not have messed with her DoorDash order. She's currently looking for it.
Lithium, are you serious? You played with the DoorDash?
Yes. Well, how else am I going to get into her recording studio?
Say it, Emu. Say it.
Oh, okay. Now, on to story number 3.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to take this a little bit away from Aradale for a moment, as I used to conduct the tours over at the old Melbourne Quarantine Station. And I do really miss my 5 other hospitals. Yes, but this was my very first experience there. I was on a training ghost tour. Lord Erie was presenting the tour, and he is just phenomenal. And we were inside my favourite building, luggage disinfection. And for those who have been lucky enough to grace us at Erie Tours on one of our Melbourne quarantine station ghost tours, you would know that it is near on impossible for a breeze to get into where the autoclaves are, the big oven-looking things. And I was standing there, and it was a fully booked out tour. There would have been, including myself, Lord Erie, and a few other amazing guides that were training. There would have been around 33 people there. And all of a sudden, I start hearing whispering on the winds of a breeze that could not have entered into there. The sound of Anzac soldiers singing, just whispering as if it was on the wind, just resonating. And for those who have never been to the quarantine station or looked up the old Melbourne quarantine station out of Portsea, we do have Spanish influenza huts there that would house our returning hero Anzac soldiers. And unfortunately, it is believed that around 2,000 of our hero Anzac soldiers succumbed to the flu and sadly passed away.
Oh, Lithium. That was a pretty cool experience up there. Got any more stories for the Melbourne quarantine station?
Oh, Amy, yes, of course I do. I have quite a few stories. And yes, if you say it.
Well, really, Lithium?
Yes, say it, Emu.
Now, on to story number 4.
Oh, yes, this was one of my darkest experiences. It happened to have been the creator's birthday last year. And I was booked for a tour, and I had this lovely Gen X couple, and it was their wedding anniversary. And so we're making our way through the tour, we're having a really good night, and we get into foul luggage. And for those who haven't been, that's where we sorted out the disgusting, putrid, manky luggage that was full of goodness knows what. It stunk to high heaven. But the autopsy table has been moved from the mortuary and been placed into the middle of foul luggage. And we got to the autopsy part, which I love doing. All those nice, lovely sounds. And so I had the gentleman on the table. And all of a sudden, I start feeling as if there is something around my throat. It feels like a hand. Everything was really starting to get hot in the room. I was starting to sweat. And I was starting to have issues breathing. And then all of a sudden, it felt like it was in my throat, just right at the very back of my mouth. And the best way to describe it, it was like a big fat maggot that was bouncing between if it wanted to go down the trachea or the esophagus. When I'm going through all of this, I'm still performing my autopsy because nothing's going to stop me from performing an autopsy. But as I'm coughing and splattering and dealing with choking on a maggot and having like this hand thing around and getting hot sweats, the gentleman's wife, she started feeling the very same effects. And then, of course, I did what all sane people did. I called on the creator's late grandmother. And, of course, the creator's granddad showed up too, and it was weird. It was a very weird situation, but finally got through the autopsy. We exited out of foul luggage, and it was as if nothing had ever happened. And I had this lovely couple come back around 9 months later, or 10 months, 12 months. They came back later, and there was more people. And so, of course, I told the story after performing the autopsy. And then the wife gives me a follow-up. After the tour, that night, the husband was becoming itchy and didn't know why. And then these weird marks appeared on the back of his hand, which look kind of like lovely smallpox clusters. Maybe the scarring of them, because they weren't pus-filled pustulas, but how do you explain that one? Emu?
I don't know. Maybe ask her.
You know, that's the logical, sane thing to do. We are venturing back over to Aradale Lunatic Asylum, and I'm going to tell you about my time when I kind of poked the snake that lives in the men's infirmary. I might have called him out in October 2023. Might have called him some names. And then, of course, I had to run back and go and get our lobotomy tools after the tour. So, of course, I've gone back in, and all I can hear right in my ear is that post-asthmatic attack wheeze. Emu, stop squeaking in the chair. Please, I'm trying to tell my story.
Seriously, Lithium, give me some credit. I am tied to a chair.
I think it's time for a quick break. I'll be back, so stay with me.
Good evening. You're listening to the Truth Tank podcast trailer. Today, the truth has become harder to discern. Fake news, censoring of facts, media censorship, ideology over logic. The truth has become subjective. That old saying, there are two kinds of truth, rings true today. What is fact and what is fiction? You can take the blue pill and go about your day, or you can take the red pill and take a deep dive into the world of conspiracies, history's mysteries, the hidden and the forbidden past, current and global events, UFOs, aliens and the UAV phenomenon, the world of the paranormal and high strangeness, as well as the ongoing war on pop culture and society, with the occasional movie review thrown in for good measure. If this has piqued your curiosity and you want to find out how all this ties together, join me, the Tank, every month for a deep and detailed dive into the hidden and murky world of the truth. You can find and follow the Truth Tank on Facebook and Instagram. You can listen and download the episodes on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Podbean, Google Podcasts, iHeartRadio, Stitcher, Amazon, YouTube, or wherever else you get your podcasts from. May the truth be with you. Tinfoil hat not included.
Okay, back to the story, okay? Yes, so the post-asthmatic wheeze straight into my ear on the way up and back down as I blocked it all up and taken the tools. Then, of course, the following week, I went back to go and retrieve the lobotomy tools, and I felt a weird burning sensation in my hip. Don't you mean the creator's hip? Because you had jumped out by this point and it was the creator. Oh, okay, fine. The creator felt a burning in her hip. Wasn't until the creator got back home, she discovered that even through the walking skirt, the jeans, there was a series of 4 scratches up her thigh onto her hip. Then things get even worse. Yes, the following week, I was on tour, conducting a 2-hour ghost tour, and I was in that first room of the men's infirmary. I'm prancing around as I normally do, and next thing, I am lifted up around 60 centimetres off the ground, and then I am thrown almost 3 metres smack bang straight into the bluestone wall between the 2 windows. I've hit the ground. Realize that the creator's going to be in a lot of pain, but I just jump straight back up and continue the tour on like nothing had ever happened. And yeah, unfortunately, a number of my guests did not finish the tour that night. Interestingly enough, it's been 2 years and I'm still there doing tours. All I can say is I'm built like the singer Meatloaf, and I do not have the aerodynamics of Ian Thorpe.
Lithium, why do you do all this extravagant stuff and then jump out and leave everything for the creator?
Well, my job is to be the lunatic. The lunatic runs around, start raving crazy, and then any injuries that are sustained, that's the creator's problem.
Right. Yeah, you're still pretty new at this, Lithium.
Shut up, Amy. Shut up. Okay, how about we move on to our epic story? The one that I like to call My Guy. Say it, Amy.
Okay. Now, story number 5.
Ah, yes. Story number 5. And this has a few different parts, and it does involve the creator. And was essentially a series of encounters with this resident at Aradale, who I have started to affectionately call My Guy. Emu, stop with the chair.
Fine, I'll try not to breathe or move or anything like that.
Good. Okay, so I've started to refer, because, yeah, I'm sure you've probably gathered, and those who have been on my tours, that English is not a very strong first language for me. But yes, I've started to refer to this resident spirit as My Guy. And my first encounter with him was back in April 2022. And the creator had just ended a very long-term serious relationship on the Friday. On the Saturday, I might have done a dumbass thing and forgotten to close the morgue door after my tour. So off I trot from admin all the way down, and I've walked between the men's ward and the kitchen area. And as I've trekked down, I've walked across the grass in front of the dreaded men's infirmary. And then, of course, as I'm walking along that grassy bit, I see up ahead of me a young man who is quite greyish, clearly malnutritious, as his clothes were just hanging off of him. He had like this grey, off-white linen shirt, full sleeve, and he was wearing some brown pants, and he had some old boots on. And he's walking towards me, and I could see that he'd had a buzz cut, and it was a very rough one. And he nods to say hello. I nod back. And it wasn't until we were shoulder to shoulder, where I could just literally reach out and place my hand on his shoulder, I realized there shouldn't be anyone there. So, of course, I've turned around with the torch, lit up the whole area, and there I am, face to face with the front of the men's infirmary. I didn't think much of it. Now, moving on to the second part of My Guy. Yeah, so it was mid-May 2023. I'd been conducting a 4-hour ghost tour, and I was down at the very last cottage that has been semi-detached, and I was standing over towards the back part of the cottage, looking down between the semi-detached building. And I'm there with a group of guests, and then all of a sudden, My Guy appears. He walks out from the other side as if to go, oh, hey. Didn't realise that I was on tour, and he's like, done the whole, I'll be back, and disappears. I, of course, run and I never run. I ran all the way around that back part of that detached cottage. I didn't see him, but all my guests swear by it. Yes, so there was nobody there. But interestingly enough, at the same point in time, the creator had just met someone through the grapevines on one of those thingies on the telephone device. And then, of course, about 2 weeks later, I was conducting a 2-hour ghost tour on a Friday. I was towards the end of it, and I'm just there in the men's ward. My guests are having a little bit of explore, checking out the scratch cell. I'm standing over by the fishbowl nurse's station, and sure enough, I'm standing there with my back towards the stairs, and yet the stairwell lights light up, knowing full damn well that those scented lights would not light up just from my presence being there. I've turned around, and there is nothing there. But as I sweep my head back round to the group, I catch the glimpse of my guy standing in one of the bathrooms there. And he looks a little bit nervous before he completely disappears. Interestingly enough, the following night, Lithium had sort of been shoved in the box, and the creator was control, and had actually gone on a date with said person from the grapevines on the telephony device. A few weeks later, I was running a little bit late on my 4-hour ghost tour, and sure enough, as I'm leading them from the mortuary to the back of the men's ward, I'm on the concrete walking backwards, talking to my guests, but as well as that, counting them as they're coming around the ha-ha wall. And I have somewhat of an idea of my surroundings, but next thing, hand quickly grab my wrist, spins me around, and I'm face to face with my guy. And then he spins me further. So I do a full 180, and I realize that I was literally 2 meters off from smacking the center of my spine on the corner of the old bluestone building of the men's ward. Interestingly enough, I haven't seen my guy for a little bit, but I know he's still around. But it wasn't until later on I was explaining what he looked like to another guide, who literally turns around and says, "Lithium, you do realize that you have literally just described a skinnier version of the person you met through the grapevines." Okay, I'm adding that in, but the grapevines are from the telephony device, because I don't really know what the creator was doing there. But the person that looks like my guy is very nice and seems to be around still to this day.
Are we done there, Lithium?
No, you know what? Let's have a little bit of a chat. You go off script and ask me questions.
Well, what do you want me to say? Have you had any fun experiences?
Oh, yes, of course, Emu. I have had lots of fun experiences. You know, it's really weird when nothing at all happens at Aradale. I think one of my favourite ones is catching glimpses of patients and nurses in reflections. That's quite cute. Unless, of course, they're upset and crying, then I feel sad. But I think one of the best ones is I was locking up the women's ward one night. I'd locked up the first part of the ward. I've made my way through the base room, as the paraguides like to refer to it as. And then, of course, I have gone to enter into that second ward, the one where you know you're going backwards. And I see a woman run out from the recovery in a nightgown, a white nightgown. She's run straight down and into one of the cells. And I was like, "Oh, you're a little bit late getting to bed. Don't worry, I'm not going to tell matron."
Well, hey, guess who it is out of the cupboard? Samio. Did you do a good episode, Lithium? I really hope you did. I hope it was freaking worth it, because I'm super freaking pissed off. And like, literally, I want to be your friend, and then this happens, and then Why is little Emu over there just trapped in it? What the hell has gone on?
Oh, bother! It's Samuel. Out through the window.
Look, I don't get why it's so dramatic. There is a door there. You could have just gone out the door rather than the window. Now I've got to get the fucking window replaced.
Too late.
Hey, Sam. Yeah, don't ask me how the hell she's decorated us. Can you untie me? Can you just finish this off? I think Lithium's changed half your settings on this. I'll leave this for you. You can fix this up. Okay.
Well, thank God I'm out of that cupboard. Thanks, Lithium. Yeah. Anyway, I was just hijacked by Lithium, one of my apparently really great friends that is a ghost tour guide at Aradale Lunatic Asylum. So please head over to Aradale. Go get your tickets. They're awesome. Lithium is one of my really closest friends who I've been friends with actually I was even doing my nursing course with this, with her. So, apart from her being, whatever. But yeah, no, I hope you guys enjoyed it. It was a bit different, but I thought, hey, it's Halloween. Why not? And I know I've released it a little bit after Halloween, but none of you would have listened to it anyway on Friday or Saturday night. It's like party night kind of thing. So I was like, nah, let's do it Sunday. So my Halloween special, if you guys want limited edition stickers that are related to this particular episode, please head over to my Etsy. The link is in my bio on my Instagram, but hit me up on my email, aussieafterlife@outlook.com. I'm on TikTok, YouTube, Spotify, and anywhere you get your podcasts. God, it's all like, I was trying to talk and it's like, blah, blah, blah. But anyway, yeah, please support a sister out, grab some cool stickers. I've had some great feedback on those, but yeah, I'm also looking into more merch as well. So if you guys have got any ideas, I want to get into t-shirts and lots of stuff. So let me know. But I hope you guys had a really safe and cool Halloween. And I hope you guys trick or treat your little tits off. But thank you. And I'll see you next week. Be safe.